Furiosa Saga is now the fifth film in the Mad Max saga, but this time around, this movie is a prequel to 2015, in my opinion, masterpiece, Mad Max Fury Road. In this story, we learn about Furiosa, who was obviously in Fury Road, originally played by Charlize Theron, but in this film, she's both played by Aaliyah Brown and Anya Taylor-Joy. We learn about her upbringing and her interactions with a new character who is played by Dr. Dementes, played by Chris Hemsworth. The film is 2 hours and 28 minutes long and is rated R. Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new review here on Max Talk Movies. My name is Max Dinenberg. We're talking about Furiosa. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. I talk all things movies, TV shows, and box office. So please subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. Comment down below. What's your ranking of the Mad Max franchise? Do you think they should make more of these movies, or is this a good conclusion, do you think, to any more films in this space? Let me know your thoughts. No spoilers. Let me know in the comment section down below. And also, please like the video. So I've seen the original, all four Mad Max films, and I don't look as fondly on the Mel Gibson trilogy as I do with Fury Road. Fury Road changed everything for me with this franchise. Fury Road is, for me, a masterpiece action film, one of the best action films of all time. You get some of the most badass performances of all time, which includes Charlize Theron, who was definitely the standout of Fury Road. And I was very skeptical of a movie, of making a Furiosa movie without Charlize Theron, because that is the most iconic performance, maybe, of the entire franchise. It's, while Charlize definitely tried action films before that, that really gave her all these opportunities now to become an action star over the last decade. Was this unbelievable performance in Fury Road. And I just rewatched it a couple days ago leading into this movie. So what I will say is, off the bat, I've seen all the movies, and the person I saw it with has never seen a Mad Max movie, and we both got very enjoyment out of it. So you don't have to have seen any of the Mad Max films. If you want to watch any of them, I would highly recommend watch Fury Road and then watch this movie. But this movie is also a really good movie to watch if you choose to watch this in theaters and go home, excuse me, and then go home and watch Fury Road. So let's get my thoughts, non-spoiler. And I'm happy to say I love this movie. And I do think it is one of the best prequels of all time, because I just didn't know if this movie would come together without Charlize in the leading role. But this movie is excellent, and it fits perfectly as the setup for Fury Road. First, I think the MVP, obviously, this whole franchise from a creator perspective, is the writer-director George Miller, who obviously created such a masterpiece with Fury Road, and I don't think any of his other movies have come close, and I don't think this movie touches as special as Fury Road was in 2015, but he directs the hell out of this movie. These are, once again, this is very mind-blowing action scenes that are going on, but another pleasant surprise is that this is a very different movie than Fury Road. Fury Road is straight 2 hours long exactly, and it's basically kind of like an action movie road trip type situation in the wasteland for 2 straight hours. It is action, action, action. There's not a lot of time to breathe in that movie. We're going west, we're going north, all these different directions. This movie is a lot, obviously, because it's a Furiosa movie, a lot more character-based, and the movie takes its time before getting into the big action scenes around halfway through the movie. And I like that. I dug that it was a different movie, that it felt very different. But once the movie keeps going on, the more it definitely feels like Fury Road in a good way. But George Miller, these practical action scenes are just awesome. You can tell they're practical. Yes, there's obviously a lot of CGI with the blood and things like that, but the actual movement, the car chases, the multiple ways you can use these cars in action scenes, it is mind-blowing, and it's still original and fresh, even though the first Mad Max movie came all the way out in 1979. So it's amazing how long this franchise has withstood, and it still feels original and fresh compared to a lot of other big-time franchises in Hollywood today. And the action scenes, bringing back Junkie XL once again to do the score was another great choice. The movie is gorgeous. You never feel like you're in a CGI background because the movie is filmed on location, and you can feel that this movie was also filmed a lot on location, and that's also great. From a performance perspective, I want to start with Chris Hemsworth. He is easily the standout of this movie, and he's an actor who, again, outside of Thor, hasn't really picked either the right project, or we really haven't seen his acting chops per se outside of the Thor franchise. And he easily delivers his best performance of his career. He's captivating, he's threatening, he's a despicable human being. But the outfit, and that was another thing, the costume design of this movie is really good. But to stick to Hemsworth, he is excellent in the film and steals every scene that he is in. I am now very excited for the future of Chris Hemsworth. I think a lot of us were kind of nervous. Could he survive in Hollywood outside of playing Thor? But this is a, movie star kind of making level performance that he can really handle himself outside of the Thor franchise and outside of Marvel. And Hemsworth is excellent in this movie. As I said, the Furiosa is both played by Anya Taylor-Joy and Aliyah Brown. Hopefully I'm saying her name right. While the marketing doesn't want to make you seem like way, the movie is actually really like split 50-50 with Brown and Taylor-Joy playing Furiosa. The first half of the movie is Brown, who plays young Furiosa. And then halfway through the movie it shifts to Anya Taylor-Joy, and both are excellent in the film. Now, again, it's hard expectations. They don't reach, obviously, the level that Charlize is, but Anya Taylor-Joy is one of the most talented actresses in Hollywood. And she hasn't really gotten this type of role before to be this level of a badass, but she brings it. Her eyes, just the acting through her eyes is really jaw-dropping in this movie, even more than some of the dialogue than she says. Another element that I love about the movie is it's very epic from start to finish. It's extremely epic in the score, in the action scenes, just in like conversations as well. I really enjoyed. So this is a movie that I cannot wait to rewatch. It's nearly 2.5 hours, which is by far and away the longest film in the franchise. But just like Fury Road, it just moves very quickly. You're never bored. Your jaw is dropped because you're seeing all these terrific things going on. The world building is still exceptional like it was in Fury Road. And I think if you adore Fury Road, you're going to really like this movie because this movie sets up Fury Road on a tee. So, what I didn't like, there were a couple side characters that, especially like Tom Burke's very good in the movie. There's a couple side characters that I just didn't really get invested, really outside of Furiosa, Dementis, and the return of Immortan Joe. There weren't a whole lot of the other side characters that I found that compelling at all. Immortan Joe's kids, I think, were even less interesting here than they were in Fury Road. So I think that some of the side characters, they had a lot of screen time, and I wish there was more emotional like punch with some of those characters, especially Tom Burke's character. Something happened, and I was like, I wish I felt something a bit more about this guy. But I cared a lot about Furiosa and Dementis and Joe and Immortan Joe and the whole world building and the world. So overall, no complaints really for me for this part. I'm going to give Furiosa a Mad Max Saga a 4.5 out of 5. 92% for the new addition into the Mad Max Saga. What are your thoughts on this movie? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys soon.